Welcome, Songtown. I'm Clay Mills. I'm here with Marty Dodson. Today, we're going to talk about how do publishers know if your songwriting is good. And pay no attention to Tiny Marty and Clay at the bottom of this video. That's going to make sense. If you stick around to the end, it's going to make perfect sense. And I'll let you in on a cool little secret.
Come on, I can't wait.
So, what's number one on your list?
You know, I think it's if the publisher can follow on one pass what you're talking about. You know, so if you're playing them a song and you have to explain it, and you have to say, well, this is about my grandmother, and all this stuff, they're not going to think that's very good songwriting.
How many hit songs are about grandmothers?
I don't know. I've heard Granny mentioned in songs.
But we don't care about hits. We just care about great songs.
We do care about great songs. But no, I think the first thing publishers are looking for is just clarity. Like, they can listen to your song one time and they know what it's about.
Yeah. And even if your song is a bit abstract, say if you were writing rock music and you wanted to sound like, a band from the 70s that was abstract, even those songs do it in a way where you know what to feel. Yeah. And that's where I think this lack of clarity, sometimes we say that and people go, oh, well, songs don't all have to make sense. They do have to make sense on the level that when you hear it, you know how you're supposed to feel. And we get a lot of songs sent to us in Songtown where 90% of it, that first verse and chorus works, but then there's 10% that feels like it belongs in another song. And at the end of the chorus, when I'm supposed to get that gut punch of, the hook hitting me hard, it's like, well, I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to feel. It's just, that's the thing you want to avoid.
What's the second one?
Second one is Even Stevens. You did a great interview one time with him. Legendary big songwriter, wrote some great songs. He said that he felt like his job was when a person is driving to work that day and they turn on the radio, or if they turn on satellite radio, whatever they're listening to, they've got a million thoughts in their head. They're late for work. They've got to drop their dog off at the vet. As soon as they get home, they've got to pick up the kids from soccer after that. And your job as a writer is to pull them out of that and give them 3 minutes of pulling them into your world.
Yeah.
So you're temporarily taking them out of their world and you're pulling them into your world. And I think songwriters that can do that can take the listener on a journey, publishers love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want to be transported by a song, transported to a feeling or to something from your past that it reminds you of, or a situation that you were in, So if you can take the publisher and pull them into the world of the song, where they kind of lose track of, hey, I'm in a pitch meeting, and they get lost in the song, they're going to be impressed with that.
Is there any ways that you can accomplish that, pull people into your song? Well, I know we've done a whole video on this, so there's a lot of ways, but just something quick that we can give people, like something tangible today.
Yeah, I think your opening line has to be something that draws them into the world, or at least pulls them in the direction of where you're going with things. So it's really important to think about that opening line and how am I going to use that to draw the listener in and make them want to hear more,
The first line of the song,
Yeah. And then every line in the song needs to do that. They need to, it just needs to keep pulling the person into the world of whatever you're talking about in your song.
Right, because how many songs even if you have a great first line, you got to keep it going, like you said, because you don't want to get to the hook and it's just kind of a letdown, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right, number 3 is voice. And I think this one is huge.
Singing voice?
No. Publishers want to hear a song and go, I don't know anybody else who could have written that.
Right.
You wrote that in such a way that, and we've got a class going on right now about finding your voice as a songwriter, but publishers want to hear a song and go, man, I don't think any of my other writers at my company could have written that song. You've got something special here, and the way you approach that title or the language you used, that's special. And that's where I think a lot of people make mistakes by copying what's out there or a writer that they admire You know, if you're copying something, you know, like there's already a great Taylor Swift out there.
Right.
If you're copying her, you're probably going to fall short. You know, people want to hear what you've got to say and how you could say it differently.
I know someone's going to put in the comments that, this doesn't work because all the songs sound the same. Well, here's the difference. Your song and your production are two different elements. That song has to be unique and different and say something in a different way for you to break in as a writer, for you to break in as an artist. But every genre has similar sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Production is more fashion,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so people get misguided or they get misled because they go, well, the fashion looks the same, but the songs are different. So our job as songwriters is to learn how to separate that production from a song and go, okay, is this song good?
Yeah.
Just like when writers now in Songtown are turning in songs and they're all enamored by an AI demo. They go, this demo sounds amazing. And we have to say, yeah, but look at the song underneath the demo. Doesn't matter how good the demo is.
Mm-hmm.
If the song isn't good, then a major artist isn't going to cut your song.
Publishers are looking at if they can follow your song in one pass. They're looking at whether or not you pull them into a world of your song, and they're looking at the voice. They want to see something different in you that they don't have in anybody else.
Yes, and now for the surprise. I told you guys, if you stuck around to the end, that the little Clay and Marty will make sense. So here's how. Okay, in order to demonstrate exactly how this works, what I need you to do on this very video on desktop is go to the bottom right-hand corner and click on Settings. On mobile, go to the Settings icon on the upper right corner. Now, go to the audio track and change the setting to Cleon.
Klingon?
Yes, do it now. Rewatch this video. It will all make sense, and we'll give you some incredible pointers for publishing.